something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You forgot to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever, however you all are. Welcome to Toxic Tuesday. Guys, it's been what? 160 freaking 8 episodes. Are you kidding me? That's freaking awesome. Just saying. And shout out to Tom for bringing some of the raid over right after for me. So if you're here, hang out for your first time from me. Welcome to Toxic Tuesday. It's going to be very anti-PC. We're not going to give a fuck. This show will get demonetized. I probably just demonetized by saying fuck right now. We're going to get it up. We're going to get up a lot with this show. And for those of you who like to have it both ways, we also are dual streaming to Rumble. Also, we will also stream exclusively to Rumble our 15-hour, 20-minute show so we can actually play full-length clips without getting hit by the draconian shittery that is YouTube. And speaking of which, on Rumble, see His Excellency Donald Trump. He's on Rumble in the chat. Thank you, Donald. Vince Womack is there too. Let's acknowledge our great faces here on the YouTube chat because we already got the lots of you in here, which I thank you for being war. And here's that Rumble link. So, anyways, let's acknowledge those wonderful faces. Davina Duckworth, Jonathan Conroy, Tornadoes, 13 King Style, Nick the Great, Vince Womack, D-Bud Martin, D-Bud now, Dave C. What's up, Dave C? How you doing, buddy? And, of course, Justin Keto. He's on the damn panel, and dude's just sending money. What kind of crazy man is this? For $5, he says, is this movie more woke or toxic? I'm going to say neither. But we'll get into that. What's up, Matthew Marzillo? How you doing, sir? Nice to see you here in our chat as well. Let's acknowledge our panels here. We'll start with the first guy here. Hi, Red Shirt.
Hey, Nick Weiser. Oh, it is really cool. What do we see? 37 people watching. I think that's more people than watched Snow White at my local theater over the weekend. We got an audience tonight. We're more popular than Disney. Dang it, Bob.
Wow. Bigger crowd here than at your local movie theater for Snow Brown. That is freaking awesome. Hell yeah, bitch.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I remember the very first time I saw this movie, and my reaction was, what the fuck?
What the fuck is that? Especially for Lord, that is absolutely the most downright cheesiest, ridiculous shit, and the straightest faces they all have about it is what's even
Yes.
better. The straight faces. It's great. It's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. But good.
Yeah, I mentioned it backstage. This is the movie that Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, should have been. Because they're both secret government organizations that are designed to protect the Constitution by acting outside the Constitution. Except the way they wrote Remo Williams, it doesn't hold a candle to this movie. And of course, the great Jason Statham is far more intimidating than Fred Ward. With apologies to Fred Ward, who is amazing in Tremors, but he wasn't Remo Williams. Jason Statham plays this part to a T. That's all. That's it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So obviously, for those who've been here the last few weeks, hang out. This is week 3 of our Jason Statham-a-thon, which is awesome. It's technically the final one of this week because obviously A Working Man hits theaters out this week, which is the second movie teamed by Statham and David Ayer, director David Ayer, who David Ayer also directed this movie, The Beekeeper, as well. So I starting to see a little bit of a pattern and frequent collaboration going on that's in the works. Next week is a movie that Jason Statham is in, but it's not really him being the main star to it. But we'll obviously tell you all that movie at the end for the next episode, what we're talking about for next week. But let's just say there's going to be a lot of kicks, a lot of high-fiving, and man, and it ain't Jackie Chan, but it's that other guy who can get some fist flying. So it's going to be great. It's going to be diabolical. It's going to be huge. Thank you all for being here, guys. Bigger crowd once again than Snow Brown. So give yourselves in the chat a loud, resounding, huge in that chat. I want the chat bombarded with huges because you all outdid yourselves. You all did it, not me. That's all you. All you. Give yourself some huges in the chat for this one. This is diabolically huge. That you all turned up bigger, louder, and stronger than Snow Brown ever did. Is that right? That 70s rock fan?
Absolutely. Good evening, everybody. Nick, I always knew you were living in the past, but now we have conclusive proof. I'm just looking at the calendar on the wall behind you. It says January. So, either you've been on a 2-month drinking binge or you're living in the past.
It's true. It's true.
So there's a lot of buzz around this movie.
Oh!
I had to comb the internet for more information on it. And
you just had to do
took me all day to think of that, you know.
No freaking time.
Took me all day. I was bumbling about looking for, anyway. Yes, awesome stuff. Who doesn't like? I mean, it's just a man that just wanted to be left alone.
And also, don't mess with grandma.
I wanted him and grandma to be left alone. Just if they hadn't messed with grandma, nothing would ever have happened. But I blame Hunter Biden.
Oh, dude, we'll get into that later. I thought about him a lot.
That's all I can think about when I watch this movie. Is, I wonder who that is.
Hi, Mark. Look who's here, coming in on time, and he didn't even have to sneak in quietly through the back door. He got to come in through the front.
I was lucky tonight. Yeah, but the political meetings. Yeah, usually the politicians love to keep talking and talking. And you're right. As I'm watching this movie, I'm like, they made a Hunter Biden movie. And probably they thought it was gonna be one of the Trump kids screwing up, but they're probably unpleasantly surprised when what all those parallels. In the 70s, I almost knocked you out of the panel there for those corny jokes, but you did mention Living in the Past, which is a fantastic Jethro Tull song. So
Jethro who?
Jethro.
Who?
And a little.
Yeah, we all know. Look, Mark. We all know the best Jethro Tull era was the Tony Iommi era.
For one and for I was I'm a loved collect comics and magazines, so I found this old magazine and look what it says. Since we're being toxic tonight, look what it says on there.
Jethro Tull has sex with Captain Marvel.
This says the future is female. So
Ah!
they predicted that Snow White would be a huge hit. So they were right.
I'm being
That is
really
a collector's
quick.
edition.
That, guys, the future is female. Look at where
Collector's
we are in
edition.
2025. The Marvels flopped. Snow Brown flopped even harder. And we're talking about the Beekeeper with a working man coming out this week. Toxic
look at what year was
masculinity
this?
is back and bigger and longer and stronger than harder than ever before. Mark, save that issue for memories and laugh.
I am. And then look at this. The political activist was in Maxim magazine.
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah.
No way. She must have
that.
been forced against her will to
Oh, look at that.
cater to the patriarchy.
Ah.
It does
I
say
don't know what
Amish
happened.
model, though.
So look at this was a nice combination here.
I don't know.
We could sell these on Fleabay, but yeah. When I was reading the title, it says the future is female. 19 oh, was it 1960? 2016? What the hell was that? 2018?
2016. That's the year Nick's living in. That's the year
I'm
Nick
old.
lives in.
I'm old. I need my freaking magnifying glass there. Yeah. 2018. Yeah. Jesus.
Well,
God.
Mark, it's good to have you here, sir. Thank you,
I
by
made
the
it.
way. Let's see if Dustin can get it up. Dustin, can you hear us? Can
you hear me, my friend? I can hear
Yes.
you.
We hear you. Thankfully, we hear you. I was getting worried.
Oh, I was getting worried because it's every time. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm like one step closer to getting a Mac.
Once. Well, Dustin, don't worry about that, Mate. Hang out with the dudes. Have a homoerotically great time. Let's enjoy our honeybees. Ooh, what's that? He's showing off a CD of Jeff Littell. Let's enjoy our good time here talking Statham and honeys and bees. And then, of course,
there was no honey fight in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
Well, didn't he throw honey at somebody at one point, though, and then set fire to them?
He did throw the jar of honey. Yeah.
Yes. So
we got a row of balls at the bottom, and then we got the. I love it.
And at the top. You and Mark are in the corner on your own.
Hi, Tom.
What did you do to Mrs. Cosby?
What?
We may not like Mr. Cosby no more, but no one said anything about Mrs. Cosby. Why are we killing her? She was nice to me.
She treated me right.
She was treating me right. She fed me
Right.
good.
She did.
That's Vinny. That's
more
not Jason.
Vinny.
That's
more
not Jason.
Vinny.
That's Vinny.
It's been emotional.
It's good to have
Yes.
you here, Mr. Beekeeper, Mr. Adam Clay. Thank you for being here and coming in. I appreciate it. Just try and make sure you keep your mess contained with all that honey. Things sticking around here. We already have enough shit that sticks here, and there's already enough we have to clean up from a bunch of men. The last thing we need to do is add insult to injury with your own honey. So, anyways, Nick the Greek for $4.99 with Super Chat says, Nick Weiser, did you give praise to your poster of Jason Statham in the Speedo before a stream? Yeah, I got down on one knee. I prayed. I said, Dear Mr. Statham, I love your honey. I love your Speedo. In the name of
He loves the sticky
transporter,
goo.
the crank, and the beekeeper, a working man. And that was my prayer, my Statham prayer. So it felt very, very. I was touched by my own Statham.
You've been
prayer.
touched by Jason Statham.
I was. It's true. Sometimes you just gotta come out and be honest about how you feel, and that was my coming out to him. So, well, dudes, are we ready to get the Beekeeper going? Mark, are you ready to get it
We
up?
are. Yeah. I just read your mind. Yep.
Oh,
We're
look
part
at
of the
that!
We're part of the hive together.
All right, well, guys, let's get
And
the hive
everyone
rolling.
knew about these beekeepers, right? I mean, it's just only a few people didn't know about them, I guess, right? I mean, which is
Not even
just
the head
love-
of the CIA knew about them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when they set this stuff up in these groups. It's kind of like reminded me a lot of John Wick too. Like there's a secret group of assassins out there using IBMs from the first model of the IBM from
Dot
1988.
matrix printers.
Dot matrix printers. Yeah, like
Yeah.
portraying ourselves. Yeah.
Oh, that was
That's the way to
old
do
home.
it.
That was old home week for me.
That's the way to do it, though. That's the way to do it.
All right,
He
here
had
we
a
go.
thumb drive, though. He had a thumb drive.
Yeah.
Get it? To get into that place, he had a thumb drive.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Keep up. Do keep up.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
dude,
this is gonna be that kind of night.
It's
Yes,
gonna
it
be
is.
that. Hey, we're with 6 men on the panel. We have a lot to keep up.
Well,
with.
5 men and you, Nick.
Oh, so see, I'm at the restaurant 5 guys.
It's the way it's going to be.
Oh, well, I guess. Are you saying that?
Somebody's got to keep the gay end up.
You've got a lot of nuts. Here at Five Guys, there's a lot of nuts to play with.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's begun.
Yes,
Begun. The gay wars have.
You ever notice how the comb that they keep using looks like a butthole?
It does.
Yes.
A butthole with corn in it.
No, going into this movie, I thought to myself, okay, a movie called The Beekeeper. There's no way they're going to really lead in on a bee element. And then
hell yeah, they do.
Jason Statham. And then I watched it, and then I'm like, holy fuck, they actually did. And my life is so much better for it.
This movie is everything you need it to be. It is B.
I just realized something watching the credits. Grandma was Felicia Rashad.
The cast in
That's
this
what I've
movie
been
is
saying.
spectacular.
That's why you don't fuck with
great
Mrs.
job.
Cosby.
Well, who was Minnie
Exactly.
Driver? Who was Minnie Driver then?
Head of
She
the
was,
CIA.
Head of the CIA.
Oh, that was okay, right? Yeah, sorry.
Best looking CIA agent or head ever.
It wasn't gay enough. I had to gay it up a little bit. We started talking about women too much.
You're
I
so
started
gay.
dancing. God damn it!
I don't want to get Nick completely knocked off here.
No, that for that little quick moment, that was worth it with the music. It's so crazy because I've always liked David Ayer. I am a fan, and I know he's obviously had a little bit of a storied career for better and worse. But it's nice to see he's kind of he's coming uphill now again, and it seems like he's found a good vibe with Statham between this and obviously a Working Man coming out this week, and it's giving a lot for him to be buzzed.
It's almost like
about.
there's some synergy with this, Nick. Did you plan this, Fluffy?
I think it's a buzz
Oh,
moment.
you had to call me Fluffy again. So, guys, there is
Just-
lore officially for the Fluffy. That
You've
is
got-
my name now, Fluffy.
Yeah, you've just got to know how to calm him. You play him a bit of music and he goes right to sleep. I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
Wow. Wow.
And,
wow.
Well, what this movie, we love making fun of all this stuff, but I mean, so many old people do get scammed. So I wish I did have a Jason Statham in the.
Yeah, I love that aspect
my
of the
mom.
film. Yes.
My mom actually had this happen to my mom, and she, I do all kinds of IT and help her, and I can connect to her computer, and she's pretty smart. And she's like, she called the number. I'm like, holy crap! And then she finally hung up when they asked for the credit card number. But I'm like, a lot of people. Younger people and older people, they catch you at the right moment, those bastards, and they
Wait a
prey on
minute.
them.
You set her computer up and then she got scammed. I'm seeing something. I'm seeing a pattern here.
And this is how
We
Mark
don't have any
scammed his mother.
beekeepers.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't have any
Yeah, that's-
beekeepers in
I
This
this.
was
is why we
scammed
need
my mother.
beekeepers. Yeah.
Mhm.
The bastages. I mean, it's just and it's usually and like I do computer consulting. It was one of my clients actually felt like instead of calling me, she's like, "Well, Mark, it popped up." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you call me?" She's like, "Well, I gave him the boy sounded so nice, and I gave him my credit card. He said he'd fix everything." She was out like $300. I mean, I don't think they got into her computer, but they sign you up for this stupid antivirus crud. So I can see what So this the classic. It's like Taken or any of these revenge movies. It's just a classic thing. Like who. God, you bastard! You killed Mrs. Cosby. We're gonna kill everyone
And
here.
and Mark, I'm agreeing with you. This is for today. This is so believable as a motivation for somebody to go to war as a one-man army, because you're just one person you cared about and she got completely destroyed by these scammers. And you're like, yes, but
Well,
that's like taken. I have a unique set of skills, and he could do
Yeah, you
something
fucked with the
about it.
wrong dude. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, and not only do they take her life savings though, right? Like that's the thing, to double down on it. They go in and she's
Take
like
the charity money.
the charity
Yes.
money that she's in charge of as well, which really, is the kicker, obviously, which,
right.
and it really, it's a great how they set this whole thing up. And I get it. Most people pointed out, like, yeah, a lot of these scams are not even in the US. You're not wrong. 90% of them are in Ghana.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just this idea that, a lot of these scammers, they do have centers here and there and everywhere where they can mule the money around and shit. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, especially when you also have a guy who, a lot of people who are scammers, regardless of the country they're from, they know how to have the right amount of enthusiasm, know how to stick to the script, but also, as he says literally in the movie, don't stick too close to the script because otherwise you'll sound a bit robotic. So he knows how to play the right game. He knows how to play on the right emotions. And he takes advantage of her being in as she says, a remote area, not also knowing well how computers work. So he played all the right cards on her, and she walked right into his trap. And yeah, it's such because right off the bat, you see she's just, an innocent, grandma who's probably, let's just say, living closer to her final days, and she just wants to, live a nice, quiet life, enjoy time at home. And you absolutely disturbed her time. You wrecked her life. And also she had made a friend in the process, in an area where she would normally be considered alone and stranded. And you've taken that away from her, and you've also taken what he had with her away from him.
You see, I could do the Jason Statham because every year it's my own fault. Every year I've been scammed out of thousands of dollars by the same people. And I do know their name, though. It's Canada Revenue Agency. So
I thought you were going to say it was OnlyFans.
Every year, I don't know why. I just fall for it every year, and I'm scammed by them.
He doesn't consider himself to have been scanned by OnlyFans.
No, I
get what you pay for.
Yeah,
It's only lambs, by the way. Only lambs. It's a different thing.
Right.
Only
lambs.
Yeah, that's the Scottish version. Only lambs.
Only sheep. Well, the other thing with these scammers too is some of them I was reading, they're like, it could be a Microsoft, IT during the day, and then night they work for these scamming operations. So some of them are actually legitimate, help desk people, and they have side gigs. The day they're legitimate, at night they scam you. So, and it is easy to fall forward, or if they get one of those, God forbid, you get one of those viruses where they lock your computer up. The ransomware. I mean, they've wrecked hospitals and schools, and it's a new way to commit crime without having to break in, basically, physically break in.
Face money consequences for it because of all the third partying you have to do too, Mark.
Yeah, how are you going to catch him, right? Like they said in the beginning, like, the daughter says, it's probably someone in another country. What are we going to do about it, right? So maybe it's the only part of the, I mean, the movie is just, obviously a great, revenge fantasy action film, but maybe it's not that, totally realistic that the scammers are here, but you could also believe it too with the way that it's framed with the, for the election and getting Joe Biden reelected. Oh no, it's not Joe Biden, but it's basically Joe Biden, right? But that's the way they frame it. That makes sense here too. So in terms of why it would be in the U.S., using the CIA algorithms to data mine. So it's a great setup, and you right away you're like, I didn't watch this movie in the theater. And Tom, you were yelling at Nick for not watching it. I remember a few months ago, like, how could you not watch?
I corrected it and then some.
Yeah. So this is a great movie. I should have gone to see it in the theaters, but it's you're just rooting for.
Wait a minute. Where was my beekeeper when I needed him?
You should have spoken to your son.
Those people abused me and used me, and I want ice cream.
Did Kamala eat all your ice cream, Joe?
Every goddamn time.
Did she lick it?
She took it and stole my ice cream. I said, "Where's my ice cream?" They're like, "You ate it, Joe." I'm like, "No, I did not."
Did you?
I
You
remember
didn't
if
tell
I had
Ashley to
ice
look in the
cream.
shower for your ice cream, didn't you, Joe?
I'd go looking, sniffing hair everywhere. Where's my beekeeper when I need one?
Well, Joe, you better not fall asleep on the beach because then your ice cream will melt.
What, huh? I want ice
That's
cream.
what happened.
If Joe gets stung in the beach, he's gonna fucking die. That's how old and decrepit he is. A bee sting will actually straight up kill him.
Is it just me, or does the daughter get over the suicide of her mother pretty quickly?
Well,
Yes.
The daughter is literally
she
the
does,
worst.
but
Angry, there's a man in the house.
Yeah.
This
she was
mo-
angry
the-
as
the-
a man of house, and she also made it clear to Adam, well, my mom liked my brother more because
Yep.
he was, he was in the service and in the Marines.
daughter
and
is the
I
worst
got the
character in the whole
graduation
Yeah, I agree with
gift.
Tom.
My mom's like,
I agree with
this is
Tom.
nice.
I will bring this up in my summer at the end. But the daughter is supposed to be a girl boss, and she's pissed off that Jason Statham and
She's
his
horrible at
character
it.
just
Yeah.
don't take her seriously.
But she just
And it
gets
is-
over it so quickly. She's like, "Oh,
But-
you
but
know,
it's-
this is sad."
But yeah, she's pissed off that she doesn't have any control over him. She has
Maybe
to
she's
let
one
him
of
go.
Gene Hackman's kids.
Right. Yeah. Oh wow.
Vicious but fair.
Wow.
Oh man. But yeah, this starts off as a very strange setup, although he comes in first. But when she comes in and wants him to, arrest him, I'm like, what? He's her neighbor. Do you not know that? Do you never talk to your grandmother? You
He's
don't
a
know
white
that she
man.
leases this? Yeah, he's a white man. And worse yet, he's a bald white man. I hate bald men. Obviously, she does. She's not into bald men.
Well, that's her own fucking.
Yeah,
What a
she would have
bitch.
known.
A
She
bitch.
should have known.
Yeah.
They would have met. They would have met
Yeah.
before, but yeah, her character is not that well. Not that well rounded. She's supposed to be
No.
this badass FBI.
Well,
agent.
maybe in the literal sense she's rounded because she's a DEI.
Well, the movie
cop.
works because she gets proven wrong, like time and
Yes.
time again,
Time,
right?
yeah.
And what I love
Exactly.
also is that when we get to the DEI hire for his replacement, which is chef's
Oh my
kiss in
God,
this
yes.
movie.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Not just DEI, but psychotic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it hits
Absolutely.
all the buttons exactly.
Every one. Yeah, every single one. And
Purple
you know
hair.
why and that's when you know why he retired. It's like you're on your own.
It almost makes you wonder, and this is why I won't give this movie a bad rating at all, even if though her character is the worst character in the movie, the daughter is.
Yeah.
With that DEI hire Beekeeper, and that's why I brought it up, it almost makes you wonder if it wasn't done on purpose to make her a bit of an annoying know-it-all girl boss who
Yeah.
ends up wrong by the end.
I
Maybe.
wouldn't be
Maybe.
Because
surprised.
she is basically a reverse racism on him right off the bat.
Oh yeah. Right away she leaned
Wait
to
a
him
minute.
being white. As soon as she saw that he was in the house, because I'll know the one fair argument I'll give her is he had a knife in his hand, but the fact that she could just resort to that, but she immediately reverted to race. She could say, okay,
Yep.
hey, guy with a knife in his hand, but she had to make
To
it
say
It'd be
white
no
boy.
different than
Yeah.
a white person going, "There's a black man in my house, shoot him."
Yeah. Oh, straight up. Straight up.
No questions asked. Like she's just ready to fucking book him at Dano. Like
And
I mean,
I
given the
get it, like, it's
circumstances,
her mom,
I mean, you
too.
find your mother, your grandmother, someone's gone.
totally fair.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of room for interpretation there. I mean, it's
But
like,
you question, it's not like he's running away. It's not like he's putting up a fight. She shot herself, right? If I remember correctly, and he's got a knife. Right? So those two
Yeah.
things don't equate. So at that point, as even the smartest detective would go, okay, this guy's not running. Who
I'll
is
give
he?
her the knife. I'll give her the knife and the fact that she sees a guy there in the house she doesn't recognize. I understand that. But the fact that she had to throw in the race card, that to me is like, okay.
Well, and the scene is
that has nothing
actually-
to do with him. Let's just pretend that he is a suspect, that he did do it. That has nothing to do with him killing. It
Well,
isn't
that's
like,
my point.
"Yeah,
That's my
I'm
point,
white, I'm
Nick.
gonna kill you.
That's my point, Nick, is the scene is kind of moot, right? And this is what makes me start to wonder what I just said before, because she leaves the suicide note or whatever. So they know it's a suicide. So at no point is he any kind of like fucking, suspect for her death, right? He doesn't become a suspect until the bad guys start getting killed.
Yes.
Like that's my point. So like her coming in, she prejudges him right off the bat. Off the bat.
And,
Any other movie, had that been a black man in a reverse role, the whole scene would have been how they prejudged him for being a black man when there was a suicide note and he was holding onto a knife and she was shot herself and all the things I just pointed out that a detective would have noticed right away, which is what she's supposed to fucking be. But considering this is her mother's house, she shouldn't fucking be there yet. They would not allow her to be in there until they did the investigation first.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
so
I got
that is,
paused,
and
I
that's
just want to say real quick so I don't pause it too long. But look at that's the
Right.
original IBM 5150 PC. It's not even IBM AT. Look at that, and how the hell are they using this today? I mean, they've got they've got an old phone there, and it's just kind of set up like copying John Wick. Didn't they all have typepwriters in John Wick or the
Yes.
Yes.
Retro.
So it's just the retro.
Yeah,
look.
that
I'm like,
has
come on.
that has an audio modem.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? Who still uses them? And how would they even get the graphics on that screen? I mean, they might have a Hercules VGA card in there, but just the stare, just the look there. But it was funny, I'm
The technology is weird. It's a mixture of modern and when I started working in computers or nearly, it's very funny. But here we go. It's on now.
Oh, this is where it begins, where he lays out his speech to all the people inside, about how they're not going to take advantage of the weak, and he right away. I like the fact he freaking took like a laptop and started beating the cat the laptop. I'm like,
that's right.
But you're ahead of me. You're ahead of me, Nick. I like the fact that he doesn't have any respect whatsoever for these two security rent-a-cops. And he's standing there holding 2 5-gallon cans of gasoline, which, I mean, admittedly, unlike the FBI agent, these guys are legitimately concerned. What's this guy doing? But there's nothing they can do about it.
No, I like how you guys are.
Well, he literally tells them he's going to burn the place down.
Yes. By the way, you might want to tell everybody to get out. I'm going to put it down. And they're just like, oh, and that doesn't last long. And this is where you find out this guy is even more of a badass than I thought.
Yeah, buddy, I'm gonna be counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. There, I did it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I think the whole technology thing.
Damn count.
Because I didn't even notice the technology thing until you brought it up. I wonder if that's more of an Easter egg comment on the old meeting the new, right? Like how he's the old beekeeper because he's supposed to be retired, and how he's making a comeback.
Yeah,
it's that clash of the modern meets the old kind of thing. I think it's just kind of
a
little artistic throw in there.
Yeah, and grandma's getting scammed. She's old school and doesn't expect all this new stuff to be happening, so she takes them seriously.
I love he slams this guy's head against the. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I love the guy that says something to him. He slams his head repeatedly against the desk. The first guy that says something.
They were also nonchalant when he was trying to get their attention. He tried to be nice, but as soon as they wouldn't oblige, he just mollywopped the shit out of a bastard, and it was glorious because they got room to fucking leave after that.
There's a reference right there to another movie, and you know what I'm talking about. I want you to be nice. Until it's time to not be nice.
That's right.
It's not occurring to me, but to be fair,
Roadhouse.
my brain
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
See? Yeah, it wasn't hitting me, so my brain is too fluffy right now for me to explain that logically.
I do like the fact in this movie he doesn't hang about. There's no padding. It's just straight into it. Retribution. Let's go.
Yes.
Well, it's very much an 80s, 90s action piece, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's the Western at the same time. It's also like your classic, somebody did something wrong. I'm going to go out. Your revenge-o-matic, death wish type movie.
Where's Tom?
I'm right here.
Oh, no,
he's learned how to stop speaking very abruptly.
Did I actually cut myself off?
I think you did. Yes. I was like, well, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, you do a great impression of a mute button.
Well, I mute myself because I was eating and I didn't want to make a bunch of noise.
There was one line we obviously weren't able to say, but it was just one funny line where Age of Rose, he's like, I was bringing you a job, honey. Who are you, Winnie the Pooh? Oh, yes, I am. I imagine if Jay Statham just started sounding like Winnie the Pooh. Also, they beat the shit out of her. Well, son, like Winnie the Pooh. This is what you get for beating up grandma. This is what you get.
You shouldn't take things from old people. It's not nice. So, since you decided to steal money from Mrs. Huxtable, I gotta fuck your face up.
Oh, bother.
This one's for This one's for Piglet. This one's for Eeyore.
Oh my, his balls exploded.
What day is it, Pooh? Today is the day we fuck everything up. I love that day.
Hey, we're going to kill a bunch of assholes.
Did I just swear? Oh no, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go kill him.
I'm a bear. I'm a trained killer.
Well, Pooh did have a rifle for a while till Disney banned that stuff. So, you remember Pooh on
that's it. Guard, yeah. We're making Winnie the Pooh great again. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
I was a bit of a maniac.
I'm something of a psycho myself, Make a spark across the wire. Of course, of course, you gotta make a spark across the wire. Oh,
I just want to say the guy that did the voice of Winnie the Pooh was in a Twilight Zone episode one time, and that was his voice. He sounded like Winnie the Pooh in real life, and I remember watching the Twilight Zone episode, going, "Is that the guy who voiced Winnie the Pooh?" And I looked it up. It was like, "Oh my god, it is."
That's he blew up the shit out of that place. I didn't, I knew he was gonna make a statement, but I know his statement was gonna be that explosive. No pun completely intended. And of course, we get to meet not Hunter Biden right off the bat, and
they messed with my honey.
If you had told me at the early beginning of this movie that this kid was gonna be the son of the female president, I would have not said it coming. I like how the whole thing was just a disgruntled customer. I'm like, bro, hold on. Adam Clay's a disgruntled customer? What does that make him when he's very angry? Does he blow up a country? Does he nuke it? What? That's disgruntled? Oh, you guys have no idea how easy if that's what you're calling disgruntled.
And playing off of Tom's comment, this is an 80s or 90s action flick. Let's remember, give it credit. This came out in 2024.
Yeah, well,
they can still, the old joke is even a blind squirrel occasionally finds an acorn.
Yeah.
This is an 80s, 90s action movie that was released.
That's why I think a lot of it's deliberate. That's why I think a lot of it's deliberate, Red Shirt, right? I almost feel like you got the Roadhouse references and other things that are referencing 80s and 90s. You got the older.
I agree.
All this kind of stuff kind of playing in.
Yeah, but how many other movies have even attempted to do
I know. It's almost really under the surface, right? This is what we talk about. You can do messaging if you do it kind of under the surface. Look at all the characters. All the older characters got their shit together. He does, what's this? I can't forget the actor's name all of a sudden who played Jeremy Irons. And of course, all that kind of stuff. He's constantly telling the kid to quit fucking around and all that kind of shit. And this kid and all the other young people are these complete fuck-offs. Right?
Yes.
Each and every one of them.
Yes, I agree with you. I think this is a commentary, and I love the way that they buried it inside a really good story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you
It
can
makes it
enjoy
Very
the
simple
story.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple story, but it's a very good one, and they follow it very clearly. And you can just watch this movie and enjoy the story and not pay any attention to anything underneath, any motivations, any subtext, any of all of the analysis that the stuff that we do about the
Mhm.
third time we watch the movie.
He's
But
the
the first,
son of a female president.
yes,
Yes. The son of
exactly.
man, this movie was being progressive while still having a lot of those
Well,
80s,
no, but think
90s
about it though. The
tribute.
children of that whole idea,
Mhm.
right? Like this, you could really dig into. Like I have the second and third time I watch this movie, I'm like starting to wonder if this movie is very anti-woke. Like,
Well,
Possibly.
Actually, I think it is.
I
I
don't
think this movie should have been made. I mean, this movie was inspired by the ghost of Rod Serling.
Mhm. I know. Oh, so maybe there could be a good conversation to have on whether it is or isn't. I don't know. I have to think more on that. Maybe give it my sixth or seventh viewing. But what I think I can say with certainty after viewing it more than once is there are actually more layers to this movie than this movie's getting properly credit for. Because when you look at like let's just say initial reviews, a lot of it's big, dumb fun. And I would have agreed with those reviews after one viewing, but going back and rewatching it, there is a lot more meat to the bone with this movie. And it's just not just because it's not just a 80s action we brought in 2024, but there's the whole lore of Adam Clay's character and beekeeping. Also, even like his suit is a coded color because of the colors of bees. He faces a villain that represents a bee's enemy, the yellow jacket. And there's the whole thing going on with all these ties to all these people who really powerful people. There's a lot more stuff going on in this movie. It's not really that point A and point B as other ones. And I say that someone who's let's just say the number one endorser of retardation of point A to point B movies. But this one really isn't that much like that. Like it seems that way on the surface until you actually think about it. Oh, hold up.
no,
there
it's
is
very
a bit more to
clever.
this.
It's a very
It
clever
is.
film.
It is really clever.
And this is
it doesn't that
Oh, I
seems
just
to be
wanna-
lost in the conversation the same way Stallone is actually creative gets lost in the mix of conversation.
yes, and the fact that Stallone can actually act as an action movie hero. And I'm not going to go there because that's a digression. I'll just say about this. I said this last week, and this discussion we've been having just now is the reason why I like this movie even better than The Transporter.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
I've never
there's-
actually seen. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'll just say real quick.
There's more to this.
Yeah,
That's
well, I'm
it.
just joking, but this Remington 870, if you need a home defense shotgun, that's probably the way to go. But
And I've never actually seen The Transporter, but this was one of my favorite films of last year. And it is just because-
I'll tell you, Tom, you would enjoy The Transporter. It is not quite as intellectual in that you're not going to be able to dig 3 layers deep in it when you watch it 5 times. It's still a lot of fun.
No, but I pretty much know what Jason Statham is, though, too.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
but there is a different there is a core of I care.
Mhm.
Now, as the beekeeper, it was his job to care. That was his
Well,
job.
it is normally, but in this case, this is personal, right? Like this is Jaws
Well,
of Revenge.
it is, but
Yeah.
it's still placed in terms of to me, it's still I need to come out of retirement because a proper beekeeper may be needed. You know what I mean?
Well,
He
yeah,
has
he
to
sees that
retire.
eventually, but yeah,
Right.
no, I agree with you. I'm
And-
just saying, like, yeah, what makes this story specifically different is like this time it's personal. Like you're right. Like for years
Yes.
and years and years, he would do this as a job, but
Yes.
now it's like
Time,
now
it's
I
personal.
actually
Now-
putting
you
what I
put it
did
in
for
those
years to the
terms.
test.
Right. You put it in those terms, and I'll point you to The Transporter. Don't watch the rest of them if you don't want, because quite frankly, it went downhill. Watch the first Transporter because it was a job. He violated a rule. He did in The Transporter. He
Mhm.
violated one of his rules. and suddenly it made it personal for him. So in without getting quite as complicated, sophisticated, multiple layers, as a character, he goes, I should never break the rules, is basically his lament at one point in the movie. If I hadn't broken the rule, I wouldn't have known. But now that I have, I know, and I have to do something about it.
Now he's stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm stuck with it. So yeah, I would say the Transporter is actually a good movie for him to watch because it's not just Jason Statham driving a car fast. You can watch Top Gear and see that.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, Richard. I absolutely am in agreement on that. No, for real, 111%. Great, this clip is giving me a hard time. Oh, there we go. Now, oh, come on, stupid. The clip
I
you
knew
sent
when
me, Mark, is giving me.
when that bandsaw got turned on, all I could think was Handy Randy.
Oh, dude,
Randy appears.
That's how that happened.
He straight up freaking sliced that dude's fingers out. You can see the bones sticking out the beginning points of the fingers. And I like how he calls the guy who's not Hunter Biden. He's like, "Are you crying, man?" He sounds like Don Vito, but 30 years younger. I'm like, yeah, he just also. And now, of course, Adam Clay just pops right up there as he's crying to him over the phone. It's like, oh shit. He pops up right there and he's going to kill his ass. And he abandons his lovely Ford vehicle with a traditional engine. But, you know, it's a good way to kill him and a good way for the Ford to go. I hated seeing that Ford go, but it was a good way to go because he sent that guy flying with the car. It was hilarious.
Oh, it was.
I was shocked they didn't see the guy smack the wall. That would be even funnier if he freaking laid into it like a fucking pancake. I'm like, oh hell yeah, bitch.
Yeah. Creative ways of killing people is definitely part of this movie. Yeah.
Was a lot like The Equalizer and stuff like that, where it really is just basically like a Michael Myers movie, but from the good guys.
He's a boogeyman.
Yeah, he's like I said. When we talked about The Equalizer, I said, what was it? The Equalizer or was it Man on Fire? I said,
suck your dick. I love you.
This is the guy. This is the guy you send John Wick to kill because this is the boogeyman. I think it was Man on Fire because his art is death, and he's about to write his magnum opus. Is the line in the movie. This is the same idea. This is a guy who specializes in killing people in creative ways.
I like how Jeremy Irons, his Wallace Westwile, what a name, by the way. He's like, for someone who has elevated fucking up into an art form, this might well be your Mona Lisa. I'm like,
such a great actor.
Yes, that is a perfect line. That sums up
such a classic
movie.
And the moment when we find out, if I could say it now, because you mentioned Jeremy Irons. The moment we find out that Beekeeper isn't just his hobby is when Jeremy Irons says to his son, if a beekeeper decides you need to die, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And you're like,
it's
wait
inevitable,
a minute. Yeah. It's like, okay, he's not just the guy who has beehives. He's something else. What is a beekeeper? What's the other meaning of beekeeper? And This is where
this hilarious here. Love this.
It is.
It's hilarious. What are you doing?
There goes his bee jacket. Oh, R.I.P. bee jacket. You couldn't make it through the first movie. You were a great
It's a fencing.
jacket.
It's actually a fencing outfit with a honeycomb embroidery on it.
Call it the beekeeper jacket.
Yeah, but that's apparently it was a fencing jacket. Yeah.
Oh,
there he goes in, and he's in.
If I wore a
great still
at a con, no one would get it. They'd probably be, why the fuck is that dude wearing a bee outfit?
And he didn't stick the landing.
Oh! Oh man, that was perfect. The way he closed this phone call to a guy who's not Hunter Biden, I was like, bro,
But
this was some wild. That was a freaking what? Go
You
ahead.
can tell the stupidity of this not Hunter Biden, like all those, as you were saying earlier, of those that are his generation in this movie. Instead of trying to be cool and calm and find out some info from the guy that's doing this to him, he just starts insulting him and telling him he's going to kill him and blah, 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 blah. Like, he just completely fucks this conversation.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to find out anything about it, he just starts making threats that this guy's dangerous. He's already done all these things to you, and all you're doing is threatening him. Yeah, that's going to work.
Obviously, he learned his communication. Obviously, he learned his communication skills on Reddit.
Oh
yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
young.
Well, and that's kind of what I was saying is like part of the film's theme seems to be how the younger generation just keeps fucking everything up.
Yeah, they do.
And I mean, that's kind of the whole point, is that
Yes.
this is a bad, because isn't that like one of the things he points out is like if there's a bad hive or a bad queen,
Yes, if it goes
they'll kill
unbalanced,
the whole, kill the whole lot of them.
If the queen produces, what he says is, if the queen produces defective offspring,
Yes, defective offspring.
then a queen killer will develop within the hive. And
Yes.
it's a special role
Yeah.
in beehives, and it exists only when a queen is gone bad and produces defective offspring. And that is exactly what he's doing. He's becoming the queen killer. Except he doesn't, but that's a spoiler. But it's just not. I mean, it's been a while since the movie.
He kills all the offspring.
I think he
though, is
should
the
have gone
point,
the
yeah.
whole. He should have gone the whole way.
He should have, but
I actually agree. You should have taken her out too.
Yeah.
I think it's also left open for a sequel. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Oh, it was.
And there is a sequel on the way, by the way, guys. There
Yep.
is a sequel on the way.
Yes, there is.
I just
Hear
wish this
that.
movie had done better. I mean, I know it was sort of meant for streaming initially, but but-
Well, it made money. It made
came out
money.
in
It did.
January, where they were expecting it to. Now, I looked into it. Apparently, they were not expecting this movie to do well, so they put it out in January. And the movie had legs in the box office.
Oh,
and
Jason Statham always sells. Like that's the thing.
overseas, he does very well.
Well, this was
because of
huge in
America-
Australia. Apparently, it was massive
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yes,
This movie.
America,
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised. But here's the thing I'll say about the ending of this movie. There is an arc to the FBI agent who realizes, because she's the one who says we have laws to this sort of thing, and Statham says to her, the beekeeper says to her, "Yes, and when they don't work, you have me." And by the end of the movie, she's about to drop him
Mhm.
on his way out of the room, headed for the ocean. And she doesn't, because she realizes he might be serving a valid purpose. And
they
she
heard
lets
her-
him go.
Her and her buddy had that great conversation at the police station, where because they were saying, well, what about about doing their job, even if he's right? And she's like, well, even if he's right, I still have to uphold the law, because there's that whole who is and who isn't the good guy, because she knows that he's avenging her mom's death, that he's also taking more seriously than her. And I guess she has to enforce the law, but however, in these type of situations, the law moves so fucking slow that, well, once again, like we were talking about last week, you need someone who's going to get the job done in 11 hours, not in 11 years.
Right.
So, yeah, they have a great conversation. I guess you could say that is probably one of the few times where the movie gets a little bit on the philosophical side of the conversation. And once again, that's where I think those are things that people kind of overlook, which, to be fair, I don't blame them for, because of all the hilarity and all the craziness that we see in the movie, that you forget that there are aspects of this movie that do have some thinkers in this, really solid thinkers.
And that's one of the reasons. I mean, that's one of the reasons I think this is a different sort of movie for Jason Statham, because he's done a lot of movies that are just go, ready, set, go, and off it goes. And this movie has a lot to go back, listen to the dialogue, think about what people are saying, who the characters are, who they represent, it rewards multiple viewings. Now, I don't normally say that about a Jason Statham movie.
It's not
They're
the type
most-
of movie you're expected to have that, which is fine because we don't
Right.
expect that for those type of movies.
Exactly. But this one had a difference, and it's worth being called out and rewarded and credited for doing it, because this is a difference, and it's a lot of fun to watch the first time. Hell, this is a hell of a roller coaster to watch the first time. But
Oh
when you watch it again, you start to notice, who do these characters represent? Who are these people? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? You start asking questions like that. You start to dig into what's underneath the superficial story, the immediate surface of the story. I don't recommend you do that the first time you watch it. Just watch the damn movie and have fun, because it is a really good action movie. When you go back and watch it, you're not going to be bored, because there's going to be stuff you'll see that you haven't seen on the first watch, which makes it worthwhile. And there's a lot. We don't do greatness ratings anymore. This would be my highest rating for any Jason Statham movie if we still did greatness ratings on here. But I'm still working on my toxicity rating.
All right. Hey, no, and that's fair. I need help, Janet, not jokes. That's another thing. There's a lot of great delivery, like amongst the characters. So obviously, Jeremy Irons has a few great lines. There's even a line that Adam Clay said on the phone when he was arguing with not Hunter Biden. He's like, "You sound young. I bet you don't have estate plans." Like, why would I need that? I'm about to show you. And then the music gets all to dun. Like, yo, he's gonna kill his ass. It's fucking great. And I am like, okay, this is probably like some shadow government. This is probably gonna be some like secret group. I didn't think it was gonna be the freaking president of the United States. Because usually when you have these type of things, and granted, there are shadow type of groups involved. But the fact that the son is tied to the president, dude, I did not expect them to go with that. Usually that's a type of plot you bring in for like the third movie of a series. We brought that in the first movie. Like, what happened in the Beekeeper sequel? Does he go to fucking Venus or some shit? Seriously, this is the first damn movie. I'm like, we already did this. This is wild.
That image there of the hand just made me think that Thing from the Addams Family had a really bad day.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Andy Randy.
The Thing had a really bad day that day.
Oh, whoa, we got a direct donation from Brad Young. It's been a while since we've had a direct donation. And I don't know where my Thanos clip is, so you'll get this one.
Barbecue, huh? How do you like your ribs?
Not that dark.
Holy macaroni, Brad Young with a 20. Oh, direct donation. And he says,
That's a pizza.
Just because. Oh, that's going to be a pizza, right? Brad Young, you are the man, sir. Thank you very much for a 20. It seems like, he loves Ashley. That's perfect. I'm glad we got the right clip to compliment you. That is really generous, man. $20. I am not worthy of that, but thank you so much. That's wild. Seriously. Holy shit, dude. That's diabolical. Straight up, diabolically huge, irrefutable. I'm in awe, man. Thank you so much for the $20. There is no such.
There's no sense in going off half-cocked.
Oh my God, the cock.
Sexual discrimination.
Woo! All right. Now let's carry forward, dudes. And by the way, chat, we're almost an hour into the show. Which, Tom, you let me know when you got to pull out, and you don't have to ever ask for permission with me. It's just
I'm probably going to be pulling out here pretty soon.
And chat, we're going to be rolling out onto Rumble exclusive in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So this is where we get to play all the long clips and really just have fun and get even more toxic. If you guys were at the Rumble exclusive last week for the transporter, last week was historic. I'm just saying, last week on Rumble exclusive was historic. Those who were there know. Those who were there know. That shit was on another level. I'm surprised we didn't get barred off Rumble for that shit. We should have got. They should have boarded us up for that.
I forgot to bring my orange giant to drink tonight.
Oh shit! I forgot my China too. All right, that's it. Next week. Hey,
and that's it's a shame because
next week's technically a Statham movie in a sense. Well, so next week I'll make sure we have our orange ginas on us.
It's a shame because Nick, you've been holding that orange gina all week, and
yeah, and I told my wife it was on the shopping list. I'm like, I need orange gina when you go to the store. And I got slapped.
Oh, JT Kirk nailed it. Mark D with a C is still saying Hail Marys from last week. Yeah, last week it was one of those you had to be there moments. Like, chat, I'm telling you, like, this is a reason why you want to follow the show on Rumble as well, because you'll get lightning in a bottle moments like that. That was just absolutely insane. My face hurt when I woke up the next morning at 5:20 a.m. like getting ready for work. My face hurt from all the laughing from the night before. There's times I was at work, I did make it to work on time and everything, and I'm just trying not to laugh at work because people are like, "Oh, what's so fun?" I'm like, "Oh, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it," and they really wouldn't get it. It's no disrespect. They really wouldn't get it. But dude. Good fight between the girl boss beekeeper, Anisette, I think her name is Anisette, and of course Adam Clay, and of course he freaking blows the shit up on her, man. I love how his successor was a female beekeeper, and of course I love how
and she gets the crap kicked out of her justly. It's like, I hate.
Yeah, there's how toxic is that? She doesn't girl boss him.
Yeah, and she's got a 50 count, for real.
Usually, when you're a beekeeper on the job, you kind of take your like messaging seriously. And she tries to throw in like an LOL. I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to be a beekeeper, not someone who's jokey. And the fact that she threw that into a text message when they called her up to, hey, there's a beekeeper, we need you to go take him out. And she's like, oh, LOL. Like, wow, of course you did. That's not how you should be freaking handling business. You're there to be serious. And yeah, it did serve her ass right. Boom, bitch. Get out of here. The real beekeeper is here. Explosion. Oh, how much was that gas, by the way?
There was a weird price there. What was that? That was
it was weird. I was looking at that.
57.23.
Is this California? Oh, never mind. They shot this movie in the UK.
$57 a gallon.
What the hell was that?
California.
7.23.
Hey guys, Dustin was going to say something there.
Dustin. Oh, I was just going to say that like she didn't win and she had the minigun. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not win with a minigun?
Because she was overcompensating for a lack of a penis.
Or you have lousy aim, which she did.
Aim isn't even a factor with a minigun.
Well, she managed to miss. How did she do that, Dustin? Come on, how did she miss?
I mean, because she's a she.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe she just didn't. Maybe she just didn't get to the range often enough to train.
That's true.
She's actually pretty good looking and like not this crazy get up here. Like,
well, I get it.
Look at that.
That
She's
could be either
actually-
way. I say
she's
here's the
actually cute
modern
here.
beekeeper. To be fair, Mark, that was probably that's the angle. Hey, this is the younger, more slicker, more hipper beekeeper. So versus Statham's plain straight white male thing. That could be the angle. Or this guy looks plain as vanilla, where she's all flashy and with neon colors. That's probably the angle. What's up, Ron? How you doing, birthday bud? Says saw the film when IMAX had an early sneak showing the Saturday before it came out. Audience was fired up and cheering throughout. Still the best time I had the movies last year, dude. It is a kick-ass movie. By the way, chat, I'm gonna beg myself really quickly. Where the fuck is it? Oh, I have been reading Levon's Trade. This is the book that's based on the movie A Working Man that comes out this Friday. Written by Chuck Dixon, obviously. So that's where they're taking this script and making a movie. Written by him and Sylvester Stallone for the movie. Directed by David Ayer for the movie. Same guy from The Beekeeper, Statham. Lead role. So I am about 30 pages in this 190-page book. Fucking rules already. And I'm like, I see where the story's going already. I'm loving it right at the back. If this movie does good, ends up being good, I hope there's 900 sequels already. I'm already hoping, man. I want to show that out because, well, I think we're going to see a lot of Statham in our future. I think we're going to get a whole lot of it. What's up, Keely Cha? I see you there too, buddy. Oh God, I love how Irons laughs at these guys. They're like, you guys think you're so tough that you're all gonna just team up and go up against the Beekeeper. Yet he's still gonna smoke all of you. Maybe with all of you together, there's a chance. Maybe. I love how he's just so sure about that. Like he said, like he's not like you. You're tier 1 operators. You are, in other words, pussies. If you're in the same room,
Oh,
would kill you. I was like, fuck, he was directing these guys.
Point something out. I want to point something out that I had a military YouTuber point out a while back. Do you know what a tier 1 operator is?
No, I don't.
Okay. It is somebody who's recruited from operators like from the SEALs. Okay. The Delta Force is tier 1 operators. You don't get there, you get invited there after you become a SEAL or some other special forces, Army Ranger, something like that. And when you're outstanding in your field and in your job, you might get invited to have an opportunity to become a tier 1 operator. The Navy SEALs are the baddest ass people I've ever heard of. They're tier 2. Tier 1 is people recruited from the SEALs. So when he sells this room full of people, you guys are tier 1 operators. That means you're pussies. That is the baddest of the bad of anybody who's ever been involved in the U.S. military. Ever. There are not many tier 1 operators. He's probably got 10% of them in that one room.
Chuck Norris is tier 1.
Chuck Norris is a tier 1
0.
operator.
He's tier 0.
Tier 0.
Look, he's giving him the finger.
Yeah. But I just want to point that out because it's a passing comment, and a lot of people who don't know much about the military probably wouldn't even get the reference. That the idea that a bunch of tier 1 operators are not even in the same league as a beekeeper tells you what a beekeeper is. Just so you know. I mean, it's like the baddest of the bad Navy SEALs are still going, oh God, please let me survive this encounter with this son of a bitch. That doesn't normally happen with Navy SEALs, trust me.
No.
Navy SEALs make fun of United States Marines. That's how badass they
the
are.
level of training that they go through. And then once you never knows about buds, right? You pass buds, but then there's a year of training just before you're in the fields after you get through the buds everyone knows about. But there's all kinds of levels, amazing training that they have to go. Like one thing you have to do is, go in a pool and then put all your gear on, within 60 seconds, your whole everything, put it all together with your aqua lung. And then you've got to do it blindfolded.
Sorry, I thought you meant Jeff Rutal.
Yeah.
Sitting on a park.
Yeah. But I mean, just the training is just unbelievable. And, it's the physical shape that those guys are in. It's just that's why they'll probably never be a female, Navy SEAL or any of those tier 1 operators, tier 2.
Well, how many
can't get it done?
How many motivated soldiers, male soldiers, fail to make it through buds?
And it's psychological too. It's not just it's not just the physical part of it. It's you could have a guy that's world Captain America level athlete and just mentally they break you down too with all that.
Yeah.
all that
And
training.
by the way, I'm pretty sure it's less than 50% normally make it through buds.
Oh,
I would be surprised if any class had much over 50%.
Much less.
Yeah.
Much less than that. Yeah.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, and you're right too. Getting back to this, like this special agent / girl boss, she never really does anything to distinguish herself. She's just kind of along for the ride, following the beekeeper's footsteps here, and not really putting two and two together that quickly. I mean, it's they're kind of just always trailing him, and so you're right. Maybe the movie's not written that way to. Normally she would have been showing up the beekeeper, right? If you had a really crazy director, like
I like her
let's make the
sidekick. He's quite droll. He's quite funny.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
sidekick.
My wife thinks I'm doing IT stuff.
Suck your dick. I love you.
But yeah, at least there's no girl bossing. It's great.
No.
There is no girl bossing, dude. When I don't know, I like how Adam just walks up to them. So like, yeah, oh, we gotta find this guy. Where is he? Where is he? We're all screwed. And he just walks up to him like he's having a normal conversation, almost like he's gonna be like an asset to them. And then realize, oh shit, he's right in front of us. Oh man. What a way to make an entrance. Just go right in front of him. Don't go to the back door. Gay jokes aside, you get my point. This time around, I'm actually serious about a back door. It's more of the fact that he went right in front of them and he still got past them all. No hiding it at all.
Well, this is what I was talking about before. I mean, none of these people are even in the same league with him. He knows that. The secret to the movie is they don't. They don't know that if they think they're all badasses, they're not. Not compared to this guy. This is like some white belt who's studied karate for 6 weeks, who gets in a street fight and goes, I'm going to kick your ass. And he finds out he's up against, a Taekwondo expert. You shouldn't have gotten in that guy's face. Trust me, dude. You shouldn't have done it.
I love that he just walks up to them. He just casually walks up to them.
Yeah,
so perfect.
He's not even hiding.
Of course not. But he knows what they don't. But this is the thing. He knows what they don't know. That's what makes this fun to watch. Is that they think they are. They're not. And they don't know who he is. They're about to find out.
Wow, what is long-hearted, full of semen, a submarine?
That's right, the old joke.
That is an old joke. Oh my god!
Wow.
Agent Kim screams in pain. I love the subtitles, or it's the one with the descriptive subtitles.
Grunting.
Yes.
Grunting.
That's when your average porn movie subtitles.
Brazilian porn film subtitles. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know they had a subgenre. Tell us more.
Wow. Owen Wilson.
Are they the shaving ones? The waxing ones? Are they the waxing videos?
No, they're like this. They're all guys.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm so glad I knew nothing about that.
Wow. I have no words for everything I've just heard right now.
Sorry to ruin your whole day, 70s.
No, I'm very pleased to say I knew nothing about that.
I was gonna say, I think you sound touched by the sentiment. You sound.
I'll agree with you and say that I wish I didn't.
We've all been touched by the sentiment at some time or another.
Oh!
Scoutmaster Kevin?
Oh, man.
Scoutmaster. That sounds like a Monty Python reference.
That's a Deadpool to Wolverine reference. Actually, it's a Deadpool reference.
Quietly.
Yes.
I realize. Tom, thank you for being here, dude. Chat. Give it.
You didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Tom slipped out and he felt nothing.
Now Tom totally slipped out. You didn't even notice.
Now we all have coitus interruptus.
I did say, hey, just let me know when you got to pull out, but I guess he just wanted to make a quiet exit. Tom, Thank you for the raid, dude. Appreciate it. Happy to call you a friend. So appreciate that you do this for me, even when you still don't have to. So have a good night. And I can't wait to watch your Midnight's Edge video, your newest one. So shout out to Tom, guys. Shout out to Tom Connors. Dude does a lot for us, for our channels, and for seriously, the dude is one of the most helpful guys on this corner of YouTube. I don't know how he does it between being on 900 streams just on his channels and other people's channels, and then working on stuff for his channel. Dude's a freaking maniac. I don't know how he does it.
He is, and he's hung like an elephant as well.
Well, yeah, that's.
I wouldn't know 70s, but thanks for that.
You got an anaconda? Did you hear
Tom?
You see Alec Baldwin's wife describing the ex-boyfriend, or he was like he was hung like an anaconda, like she was belittling him. Oh my god!
Oh, it was terrible. What a way to be treated.
But of course, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
So. Oh, it's great! It's great. Yeah. It's a fate worse than going to jail for whatever he might have gone to jail for. This was his real punishment.
Yeah.
I think you're right. 70s. I think you're right.
I was just looking up. I was just looking up David Ayer's bio. He actually wrote Training Day. Fast.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. End of Watch.
End of Watch is a great movie.
It's unfortunate that he gets tied down to the stigma of what happened at the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, because it's like if you look outside of that movie, he's got a strong body of work.
Yeah.
And outside of, let's just say, Robert Eggers, he's probably the one other director, I guess you could say, who's sort of a name who really cares about the medium of movies. Like I've watched interviews with him. I've seen him on talk on Twix. The guy really loves making movies. This is something he's really passionate about. He's not a director just to latch on to the next big Marvel movie. When he got into Suicide Squad, it's because he had genuinely had an idea for it. Now, granted, I wasn't wild about the idea, but I appreciate where he's coming from as a movie storyteller and director.
It's easy to see that Nick's impressed by his strong body of work.
Yeah. Come on, were you think I was just gonna stay in the closet and not say anything about it?
It's like winning.
Come on. I'm gonna come out and tell you guys about it. Come out and tell
well, it is Toxic Tuesday.
It is.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact.
It's the day for confessions. Come on.
By the way, chat, about 5 minutes. Fuck that shit. Less than 5 minutes. We are going to pull out of YouTube and we're going to be exclusively on Rumble, which there's already 17 of you on Rumble. Thank you, by the way. Oh, that's an old school phrase. Beware the Drew. Man, that was when Terminus S used to be around these chats.
Those were the days, yes.
Yeah, Terminus S, if you're still out there, man, you are missed, sir. What a dude. He always had the greatest Drew's dong jokes. Those were seriously like the stuff of legends. I remember
on a
daily basis with those jokes.
I'm going to do my best, which is probably not very good for Keely Chow. In my best Tom Connors voice, get away from turtles. Turtles, Seth.
All right, Lincoln.
That sounds like Nick Weiser doing his impression of Harrison Ford, but that's all right.
Shut up about my voice impressions.
I was right. It is. Okay, never mind.
I'm not here to prove your point. I'm here to give my own point. Okay, guys, here I'm putting the link in the chat. So right there is the hold on, I gave you the wrong link. Sorry. I'm stupid and retarded. All right, here's the Rumble link. Here, I got it. I got it now. I got it right now. I'm so retarded. It must be the caffeine in me. Right there, guys. I'm gonna get rid of this.
Yeah, the other one goes to Rachel Ziegler's variety show. So don't go there.
As long as it doesn't go to her OnlyFans, it's fine.
Wait, what? She has one? I'm into it. I bet the only thing you're
She will have soon, but she's got nothing else.
She's gonna need one.
Weird.
It'll dwarf the
Yeah.
success. It'll dwarf the success of our latest movie. That's for sure.
No!
Oh man,
And
you're
Peter
on fire
Dinklage
tonight.
will write a letter to the editor complaining about it.
Oh, Dinky.
Well, he would if he could reach the desk.
Oh! I'll send him a letter of encouragement. Don't worry, you will rise above it.
Rise above it. Rise above it. Peter Dinklage is going to be in the sequel to Cool Runnings.
Dinklage? How's he gonna get his foot on the pedal?
He's going to be the brake man at the
He
back.
could have a leg up on the competition if he tried.
He's going to be the bobblehead on the front of the thing, little mascot on the front.
He's going to be the hood ornament for the pop.
That's what I was saying. It's the hood ornament.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Hood ornament.
Oh.
Now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Bob Iger you know what? Bob Iger hates me, and I am proud of that.
Good. That's a bad.
He just doesn't know, and he doesn't know who I am. I think it's time that he found out.
He would hit you if he knew you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, Bob Iger, we beat Snow Brown. We have a bigger crowd. Just saying. And
Yep.
I will have made more money on my stream tonight than Snow Brown did for their box office projections, because their gross may make it look like money's being made, but for what they need to make in return, well, I will have made more money. That's a really sad thing for Snow
That's
Brown.
because you don't pay any of us to do this, you cheap bastard.
Hang on a minute. He pays me, doesn't he pay you? Shit.
Wait, we're gonna have to start a union now.
Sorry, Nick, we gave that away.
Oh!
Shit, sorry. I revealed the truth.
You were not supposed to come out and tell guys about that.
I mean, it is his sexual favors, not money, but that's.
You're not supposed to tell people they can't come out, okay?
Yeah, you're supposed to stay in, not come out. Come on.
You like it when
You
we
have
stay
to
in,
do
don't you?
better.
All
I'm
the
just
way
a
in.
middle major. I respect you more if you look.
Nick, are you saying you're an istophobe?
I'm an istophobism. I'm an ist. I'm a
Oh,
phobe.
you're a meme. That's even better.
I know. Imagine that. I am the meme.
At least he's not a mime. That would be horrible.
Yeah, that would be worse.
That would be
I'll give
pretty
you that.
horrible. Yeah.
You just turn his camera off and we never know.
All right, about 1 minute, we're gonna finally transition proper. And before we transition out proper, I will say, it's really funny how the Beekeeper, the whole gist of Statham, like actually becoming a beekeeper, was because he actually became a beekeeper in real life.
No way.
Yes, way.
Yes,
Way.
He seriously did. He really did, because he was having downtime during the government response to the Kung flu, so he took up beekeeping. That's how it was. You know what? Now that this is my job, well, there's no movies being made. When they start making movies again, I'll make a movie about what I do now, and then the rest is simple. It's great. So there's a little fun fact for you all in the chat. All right, chat, 20 seconds. We're transitioning out of here. I'm going to post the link one more time, as there are already almost 30 of you on Rumble. Hell yeah, bitches. One last time. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and we are going Rumble exclusive. Oh, by the way, for those who do not come with us, which I forgive you for, we'll be back next week talking Jet Li's The One. So
Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's great.
And guess what?
Superb.
That too. So we're gonna be doing 2 weeks of Jet Li. Next week will be The One. So I hope to see you all next week. For those of you who do not come on Rumble, and for those of you who do come on Rumble, well, now is the time to come. Thank you, and piss the hell
But does
off.
Rumble like when we come on it?